11 people have been killed in the violence over the past several days. Ibrahim Al-Assil is a senior fellow at the Middle East Institute. He joins us now live from Washington. Excuse me, Ibrahim. Just explain what we understand to be happening on the ground in this area.
Great to be with you, Becky. Over the last 2 to 3 days, sectarian violence erupted inside Syria, specifically between Arab and Sunni communities against Druze communities in different areas in southern Syria. The violence erupted after an audio clip went viral, unverified. We don't know where that clip came from, included offenses against Prophet Muhammad. And then the clashes started. Some accuses that there were Druze militias attacked security checkpoints first. Others say different Sunni militias attacked the Druze communities first, but now we are at a point where there are attacks and counterattacks among so many different groups that sometimes people in neighborhoods don't know who is fighting against whom.
Now, this is fascinating because this is what's going on domestically within the sovereign state of Syria. Meantime, Israel trying to position itself as the protector of the Druze minority since the fall of Assad, and claims it was targeting, and I quote them here, an extremist group in the area. So to your mind, how welcome is this intervention by the Druze community, Ibrahim?
It's widely condemned. There are, of course, factions among the Druze who asked for this help, but the majority of the Druze do not want regional intervention because it complicates the matter further. The fear or the risk from the Israeli attacks that it might lead to re-regionalizing the Syrian conflict again. Syria today is not at an open war anymore, but it's in a post-war limbo where it's still that the communal peace is very fragile. The state clearly cannot maintain security, and then there is the issue of radicalization, the issue of the difficulties of disarmament and demobilization. And in the background, we've heard repeatedly from Israeli officials that they want to keep Syria weak and fragmented. And I think that's the strategic purpose of the Israeli intervention here, not to solve this issue, not to protect the Druze, but to keep Syria far from any national reconciliation and try to intervene between the Druze and the Sunni communities inside Syria.
I mean, Israel has already expanded operations inside Syria. And I mean, you talk to people around the region, there is a suggestion, there is an intention to further expand those operations. Syria, Ibrahim, in the middle of Israel and Iran's proxy war still, to be honest. With Assad gone, how vulnerable is Syria to Israeli intervention as it expands its war operations across the region?
Extremely vulnerable. The Syrian state is very weak. We're talking about a country that's just finished, or it's still in a way in a context of a civil war that went through 13 to 14 years. Not only a civil war, but a regional war with also other global forces like the Russians and the Americans intervening inside Syria. Syrians are trying to regenerate their national identity, to reach a process of national reconciliation. And of course, that's facing immense challenges inside Syria. Any regional intervention, military intervention, is complicating that process, is preventing Syrians from being able probably to reach any sort of reconciliation, and preventing the central government from improving or proceeding with that process. And here also I want to conclude with a point that while also the Syrian government, there are so many question marks about their rhetoric and their efforts on the ground. I think the statement by the Interior Ministry had some religious lines that reflected it probably does not represent all Syrians. However, it is important to allow Syrians to find an exit out of this without further further complicating this and without risking regionalizing the Syrian conflict again.
Important insight. Ibrahim, always a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.